Landon was 12 years old and summer break had just begun in his small town in Oregon. While most kids were out biking, swimming, or helping around the house, Landon had mastered one particular skill: putting things off. His room looked like a tornado had passed through. His summer reading list hadn't been touched. The bike in the garage had a flat tire, one he promised to fix 2 weeks ago. But somehow every time he thought about doing something, a voice inside whispered later. His mom had tried grounding him, bribing him, reasoning with him. Nothing seemed to work. So one Saturday afternoon, she called in backup, Grandpa Joe. When Grandpa Joe showed up, he didn't say much. He greeted Landon with a grin, ruffled his hair, and plopped himself onto the porch swing. Landon followed, half curious, half hoping Grandpa had brought snacks. Instead, the old man pulled a smooth black stone from his pocket. It sparkled ever so slightly in the sun. "You know," Grandpa said, "this reminds me of a story I once heard about a boy not too different from you." Landon smirked. "Oh yeah, was he lazy too?" Grandpa chuckled. "He didn't think he was lazy. He just kept saying he'd do things later." Landon leaned in and Grandpa Joe began. "A long time ago, deep in a quiet forest, there lived an old wizard and his young apprentice. The apprentice was bright, full of potential, and the wizard had high hopes for him. But the boy had a habit: he delayed everything. He would say, 'I'll study tomorrow,' or 'I'll fix the tools later.' He was always too tired, too distracted, or just not in the mood. The wizard watched, growing more and more concerned. One evening, the wizard approached him with a black stone, just like this one here. "This is a philosopher's stone," the wizard said. "It can turn iron into gold. I'm giving it to you for just one day. Use it however you wish, but tomorrow at sunset, I'll take it back. No second chances." The apprentice's eyes lit up. He imagined piles of gold coins, magical inventions, a new tower built in his honor. He planned to head to the market the next morning to buy scrap iron and begin his transformation. But that night, he figured he'd sleep in. After all, there was a whole day ahead. In the morning, he made a big breakfast. Then he lounged a bit, thinking, "I've still got time." After lunch, he felt sleepy again, so he napped. By the time he woke up, the sky had turned orange. He ran outside, heart pounding, only to see the wizard waiting, holding out his hand. The boy begged, pleaded, even cried. But the wizard said simply, "A person who doesn't value time will never turn anything into gold." And with that, the stone was gone. Landon was quiet for a moment. "So what happened to the apprentice?" he asked. Grandpa Joe smiled. "He learned the hard way, but he changed. He stopped telling himself later. Because he knew that later often turns into never." Landon rubbed the smooth stone Grandpa had placed in his palm. It wasn't magical, not really, but somehow it felt heavy, like it carried more than just its weight. Grandpa Joe continued, "Look, kiddo, I'm not saying you need to do everything perfectly or never rest. But when you keep putting things off, the days slip by, opportunities disappear. And before you know it, summer's over and the bike's still broken, your book's unread, your ideas unused." Landon looked out at the street, quiet in the golden hour light. "I guess I've been like that apprentice." Grandpa Joe nodded. "Most people are. The trick is realizing it before the wizard shows up." They sat there a bit longer, the stone still warm in Landon's hand. That evening, something small shifted. Landon didn't overhaul his life in one night, but he did fix his bike tire before dinner. He read the first chapter of his book before bed, and the next morning, without anyone telling him, he made his bed. Not because he had to, but because he could. In today's world, procrastination is almost encouraged. With smartphones buzzing, apps engineered to hook attention, and endless distractions within arm's reach, it's no wonder people often say, "I'll do it later." But later is deceptive. What we delay often loses its value, not because the opportunity changes, but because we do. The energy, the clarity, the motivation we had fades the longer we wait. Over time, our windows of action quietly close. The story of the apprentice and the philosopher's stone isn't just about magic, it's about missed chances. We all hold some kind of metaphorical stone, a chance to create, to build, to grow. But that chance comes with a silent clock, and no one tells us exactly when time will run out. Landon's story reminds us that change doesn't start with a massive overhaul. It starts when we stop lying to ourselves about tomorrow. In a culture that praises hustle yet feeds distraction, the most radical thing we can do is honor our time. Not every moment has to be productive, but every moment deserves our presence, because time, like that stone, is powerful. But it's not ours to keep. I hope you found this story helpful. If you enjoyed today's story, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next story.